Hello and welcome to Movie Flakes, home to review and breakdowns. We have so many questions on the new king. How he got there, how does he dies? Who replaces Aegon as king? Will Aegon be remembered as a good king? What happens to Aegon after becoming king? Let's get to discussion. Aegon II was anointed king of the Seven Kingdoms in House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 9. But his destiny is doomed, as it is with so many other George R.R. Martin characters. While Rhaenyra, Viserys I Targaryen's firstborn daughter, was set to become the king, a misunderstanding on the monarch's deathbed resulted in the coronation of Aegon II. Viserys' late wife Aemma, who was childless, gave birth to Rhaenyra. Aegon, the new king, is the child of Viserys and his second wife Alicent Hightower. Many people in the Seven Kingdoms believe that Aegon, the firstborn male, has a stronger claim to the throne than Rhaenyra because of Rhaenyra's gender and the widespread disagreements surrounding her claim. Viewers of House of the Dragon should probably expect a struggle for the throne between Aegon, Rhaenyra, and their friends. Close, as the audience had only been given a brief glimpse of Aegon's whole character before to his coronation in House of the Dragon Episode 9. His new kingship will allow for additional character development. Aegon II has been portrayed thus far as lusty, immoral, and naive, traits that are not ideal in a leader. We can only hope that once Aegon assumes the kingly position, more information about him and his future will come to light. Fortunately, the George R.R. Martin books and the House of the Dragon foreshadowing what happens to Aegon II once he becomes king should be made explicit. What develops with Aegon afterwards? He was king. Aegon II Targaryen enters the conflict that became known as the Dance of the Dragons as soon as he becomes king. Early in the fight, Aegon grows impatient with Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, believing him to be overly circumspect and passive. Sir Criston Cole is chosen to take over Otto Hightower's responsibilities in place of Otto Hightower. Cole approaches the conflict in a far more forceful manner. Soon later, Rhaenys Targaryen and her dragon are killed in battle by Aegon and his brother Aemond, but the king is left gravely hurt, with fractured bones and burns covering half of his body. His brother Aemond takes over as ruler while he heals. A much older, disfigured Aegon escapes King's Landing in disguise as a commoner as Rhaenyra's men draw closer. Aegon suffers another wound, breaking both of his legs, in a subsequent combat in Dragonstone. He suffers excruciating pain as a result for the rest of his life. Aegon's wife and sister, Helaena, later commits suicide after his firstborn is killed in action. And towards the end of the war, Aegon captures and murders Rhaenyra. When will Aegon pass away in the dragon's house? After being poisoned in the royal sept, King Aegon, who had suffered several injuries and was severely disfigured and deformed, passed away. Although the killer of the king is still unknown, it is thought to have been one of his own men. Aegon passes away shortly after killing Rhaenyra with his dragon. The black forces of the House of the Dragon approach King's Landing in the days before his demise. However, Aegon does not care about this. Instead, he spends his time fretting over his approaching marriage too. Sculptures of his deceased brothers were built by Cassandra Baratheon. He was presumably poisoned in order to stop the conflict from continuing under an inactive king, which is the most likely explanation for his death. Well, most people do not recall Aegon II as a good king. A terrible civil war over succession with his sister consumed the length of his reign. During his rule, there was a dispute over who had a stronger claim to the Iron Throne among the Seven Kingdoms. He acquired the moniker Aegon the Usurper as a result of the contentious coronation he underwent over Rhaenyra. Additionally, Aegon was not really interested in ruling, and his lack of dedication to the throne portrays him as detached and uncommitted. In the works of George R.R. Martin, Aegon only elects to hold onto the throne over Rhaenyra out of concern for his and his family's safety. Most Westrosians view him as nothing more than Alicent, his frequently cunning mother puppet. Aegon, who became king at a young age and contrasted with his wise and kind predecessors, is noted for lacking maturity. He has a reputation for being violent, cruel, and impatient. He frequently disagrees with his small council because he favors quick decisions over deliberate and strategic ones. Furthermore, Aegon developed a reputation for promiscuity as a result of his ongoing indiscretions, which were teased in the window scene in House of the Dragon. Overall, due to the conflict and Aegon's own naivete, his reign is not remembered as being good or effective. Who takes Aegon's place as king? In the book by George R.R. Martin, Rhaenyra temporarily usurps Aegon II's crown. The Dance of Dragons, a conflict between Aegon and his half-sister Rhaenyra over who should lead the Seven Kingdoms, occupied the majority of Aegon's reign. The storyline of House of the Dragon has been significantly deviating from that of the book, but it appears that the program is preparing for Rhaenyra to retake her father's position in King's Landing. Building of the Dragon. The title of episode 10 of season 1 is the Black Queen, which appears to be a reference to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra, also known as the Half-Year Queen, only holds the reign for around 6 months before being declared a traitor, expelled from King's Landing, and eventually slain. Aegon II then takes back his throne before passing away shortly after. Since Aegon II had no surviving sons of his own, Aegon III, Rhaenyra's eldest son, succeeded him. In retaliation for the killing of Rhaenyra's son Lucerys, Daemon Targaryen dispatched soldiers to kill Jaehaerys, his oldest son, early in the war. Maelor, Aegon's second son, was murdered by a mob. In order to heal the rift between the two branches of the family, his last child, Jaehaera, wed Aegon III, the man who would succeed her father. Aegon III, also known as Aegon the Dragonbane, who made an appearance as a newborn in House of the Dragon episode 8, is regarded as a stern, despondent ruler who worked to unite the kingdoms after a bloody conflict. Thanks for watching. To like, comment, and subscribe for more video.